at this. I'm practically wearing the same clothes every single time. I just realized that as I hit record, I was like, holy crap, I'm wearing the Mario PJs again. It's like I have a bit of a uniform for this whole jam diary thing. But anyway, I feel like I haven't talked to the camera much lately, so I'm going to do that right now. I think I've got a pretty good angle this time. I think. But again, like this is obviously a very professional setup I have here. So the thing that I've been working on lately, obviously, is improv. That's basically all I do now. And I'm actually, like, especially after watching some of the videos, like, obviously, like, I'm not some amazing Guthrie Govan, like, virtuosic improvisational master or anything. But, you know, I'm starting to feel a little bit better about my abilities. So much so that, like, what I do now, instead of even really, so like when I just have it play random tracks, and most of the time I don't even like bother looking at the screen to find out like, ooh, what's the key. I just like let my ears find it, which I think is proving to be a lot more beneficial to me than being like, oh, it's an A, so now I should pay attention to like these specific spots. So the whole point of this whole talk is like, so I'm listening to this track and I was having a really good time with it. I don't know if I'm going to record like a full playthrough of the whole thing because it's like 12 minutes long. And I'm starting to think like, maybe I should make these a little bit shorter. Like just to get like a small little idea. I mean, as much as I do like the whole, like, hey, here's my first listen through this. I have never heard this track before. I don't know if I've ever even really mentioned that, but like, most of the time when I'm recording one of these, it's the first time I've ever heard that track, or at least that I've consciously known that I'm playing that track. So I'm literally like, it's a first run through. So I mean, it also helps to know that upon reflection, because I'm like, I really shouldn't be too hard on myself for the like little missteps and the wrong notes, because like I've never heard this track before, although this time I'm actually going to play one that I've heard, so. But the point of all this rambling, which, I mean, obviously I'm going to edit this down into like a snappy little professional YouTube video, because that's totally what I'm trying to do right now, is be a YouTube star. No. I keep getting distracted and going off on tangents. It's a good thing I'm going to edit this. Look, I'm already at like 3 minutes. Okay, so the point was, as I was just letting my ears play along to this track, I noticed I was playing kind of like, I guess, kind of an A Dorian shape and an E minor-y shape, and I found those really worked. But then I was also like, oh, sometimes A minor sounds okay too. And then I look up and it's an A minor. But as I'm playing with it more, I'm like, nah, no, this isn't really an A minor track, because if you just play straight A minor all the time, it's like, it's not quite right. You know what I mean? But that, I guess this is Dorian? Actually, it's almost like, well, I mean, I guess A Dorian. I mean, it's all like the, let's see, A Dorian. So this would be like more of an, to me, like in my head, it looks more like a major shape. Yeah, it's like a 3 note per string major, so I guess technically it's G major. G major sounds okay over this A minor, which I guess, I don't know, I guess that makes sense. See, I actually don't really like, I have a lot of like theory knowledge, not knowledge necessarily, like I know little bits and pieces and things here, and I know how things kind of like connect on a theoretical basis, but I haven't quite made the bridging my knowledge into actual application yet. So, like, I know enough that I can understand what people are saying when they talk about music theory. But to me, like, I don't see notes necessarily on the guitar, which, I mean, I think is a pretty common guitar thing. I think we focus more on shapes, or at least I do. I definitely focus more on, like, ooh, this shape, I know what that shape sounds like. You know, it's like, it's all kind of like intervals, but I don't even really think about them that way. It's just like, I know what I'm hearing. I'm like, okay, so this shape should sound okay. And, like, based off of where, if I can find one shape, then I can find the rest of the shapes, because I know where the shapes are in relation to each other. And it's so much more helpful to think, at least for me, to think about it that way than it is to think about, like, oh, this is A minor. So, like, if it says A minor, all that says to me is, like, okay, so here's my safe shapes that I can find. And, I mean, I get lost all the time, too, because I kind of get carried away with, like, okay, I'm just playing, I'm exploring, I'm just hitting notes at random, and I'm trying to focus more on my rhythm than anything these days, because realistically, the notes don't really matter too much as long as you play them in time. Because ultimately, like, the point of the song is you're supposed to feel the pulse and the terroir of the song, and if you're not playing in time with it, then obviously it's gonna stand out. Like, you might, but if you hit, like, kind of an note, but it's on time, and then you hit another good note, like right before or after, or, I mean, if you're gonna go on, like, the whole Satriani, like, pitch axis theory kind of thing, as long as you hit one good note, like, every 11 notes or so, nobody's gonna notice, as long as it's in time. So, with that in mind, I realize I've talked for like 7 minutes and I barely played anything. So I should probably do that now, since this is supposed to be a jam diary, not a talking to the camera about nonsense. Anyway, so this is blues rock in A minor. I'm probably not going to play a lot of A minor, I'm gonna be honest.